everyone, welcome to my channel. Today first of all, long time no see, but second, I wanted to make a video about my breastfeeding experience so far, but also why I almost quit and why I didn't quit and all that jazz. So like bottle refusal, things of that nature. So we're gonna get into that. And if you are going through something similar, which I have found so many people are, that's why I wanted to make this video. We have been dealing with, first of all, colic, gas issues with Breeze, my son. He's 2 months old, so hopefully those issues are going to start going away soon. The doctor said by 2 months they'll definitely start to like slow down, and by 3 months colic should totally be gone. He's honestly been like the sweetest, most cuddly baby. Kind of about the bottle refusal, I have not posted or shared my birth story yet, which I do plan on doing, but I would say it's like somewhat of a traumatic one, and I was very sick, and me and Breeze were separated for 2 nights. And that was a very traumatic experience. I do plan on talking about that. What is my hair doing? Excuse my hair. But yeah, I do plan on sharing that. I was in the hospital for 2 nights without the baby because I got fluid in my lungs. While I was there, I was like pumping, and he was taking formula from a bottle, and he was only 2 days old. So he was taking a bottle just fine. And then when I got home, when he was, 4 or 5 days old, around there, we were able to start breastfeeding, and then I had so much colostrum pumped that I would give him a bottle or 2 of the colostrum a day. So we never like stopped giving bottles. I just was breastfeeding a lot. He was cluster feeding a lot. I will say, like with formula, it's just a lot more regular. It's every, on the dot, like whatever you want their schedule to be. Versus breastfeeding, we just feed on demand, and that started to like really take a toll on me. So we never, basically back to the bottles, we never stopped bottle feeding. And we were always offering a bottle at least once a day. And I thought that was contributing to him sleeping so well. So he would sleep like really early on for like 5-hour stretches at night. And I thought it was because we were giving him a bottle before bed, and he was cluster feeding, and so he was sleeping really well. And I felt like if I didn't give him that bottle, he wouldn't sleep well, so I never stopped giving it. And then one day he just started to like spit out the milk he was getting from the bottle, or he would push the bottle out. He just like wouldn't take the bottle. I'm like, okay, maybe he's just not hungry. So I just kind of gave up that night. But then obviously the next night I offered it again, would not take it. I'm like, okay, maybe he's not hungry. Maybe he's just getting enough from me. But like I figured, okay, it's awesome that we are giving him a bottle every day, so he will be able to take a bottle. Like I did not think ever that this would be a problem. I didn't think that, I just didn't know it was a thing to refuse a bottle, especially after you've already been given one like every day of your life. I just remember one day we had family over, and he was really wanting to like cluster feed because it was right before bed. He was 5 weeks old, and so he had a bottle every day till he was 5 weeks old. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just make him a bottle because we're cluster feeding. There was a ton of family at my house, and I was just like, someone can give him a bottle because I feel like I've been sitting here breastfeeding him for hours. So I made him a bottle, and he screamed. And I thought it was just because like maybe his uncle was trying to give him the bottle. So I was like, okay, let me see him, and I was like trying to give him the bottle, and he was just screaming. And so I was like, okay, well, he's not wanted one since that day. And so it started to be really, really hard on me because I let it do that to me. Like, and I'll get to that point, but like I was letting it make me feel like I would never have freedom again. I would never get another break again. I was just getting really like down, and feeling like my happiness and my me time and all that depended on him taking a bottle and being able to do that. So I was putting all that energy into that, and so I started to get really down. And obviously if you put like, if you depend on something like that you really like is out of your control, like you're gonna get really like upset. And so I was just really letting it get to me. One day, I think he was 8 weeks old. It was, yeah, he had just turned 8 weeks, and I decided to just solely go to bottles and honestly just stop breastfeeding in general and go to formula, because he seemed to take a bottle a little bit easier if all I offered that whole day was bottles. Like start in the morning giving him bottles and only offer that for the day. And he seemed to do a lot better with that. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll just bottle feed. But I really did not like giving him a bottle and then pumping, giving him a bottle and pumping, because I have a 4-year-old that I stay home with as well. So it was just taking up a lot of time. I just wasn't interested in doing that. I just think fed is best. And if he's going to take a bottle, like just throw in some formula. And when I made that decision, I like started sobbing, and I was like so heartbroken. I felt like, I don't know, like I could not get over like that when was going to be our last time to breastfeed, because honestly me and Breeze are like, we're so good at it, like we can breastfeed so well. That's not the problem. The problem was like I wanted him to take a bottle, and the only way it seemed like he would take a bottle is if that's all he got and no breastfeeding. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we need to be done, because I'd rather him just take a bottle, or I'd rather him be able to take a bottle. So I was thinking, you know, I want to be able to have more freedom, so whatever. But I was so heartbroken. I cried like a long time, and I cried hard. And you know, even though I felt like the pros of quitting breastfeeding outweighed the cons of quitting, I just like, I wasn't ready. And obviously Breeze was not ready to, even just thinking about quitting and like thinking about how I felt like is so heartbreaking, and it just was causing more sadness. The next day I, you know, tried to give him a bottle. He wouldn't do it, and I was like, I'm gonna call the lactation consultant at the hospital. So I called the lactation consultant, and after watching a couple videos, I saw that like some people went to formula, but they breastfed before bed, or they breastfed in the morning, or whatever, like once a day. And I was like, okay, I didn't know I could do that. So I called the lactation consultant, and I was like, is it possible for me to like just do formula but still breastfeed like in the morning or before bed or whatever? And she said like, yeah, totally, we can do that. I was gonna do that, but she said, why don't you try a sippy cup? Why don't you try the honey bear? There's like a honey bear bottle with a straw that you can push, like squeeze the bear, and then milk will come up. It's kind of like a syringe in a way, like it's squirting the milk in his mouth until he's able to suck on the straw. And so I was like, okay, I'll try that. And so my neighbor came over with like all these, you know, sippy cups, and she actually had the honey bear bottle. So we tried that, and I said, okay, like, you know, he didn't really like the sippy cups. He really won't suck on anything, not even a pacifier. He just won't. It just makes him so mad. So we tried the honey bear bottle, and I will link a really good video for the honey bear bottle. So if your baby's refusing a bottle, like please go watch this video. But it worked. Like he was crying, but he was getting the milk. And so like that was the most important thing. Like even though he was upset about it, you could squeeze a little bit of milk and he would cry, but then he would swallow. Like, okay, maybe now I could you know, exclusively breastfeed, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. Because we're so good at it. He breastfeeds like really fast. We're just efficient at that. Giving him a bottle could be like an hour process or more. And he won't even finish it. So, and then I was like, you know what, just F this. I just need to come to terms with it. That we're just gonna breastfeed. You know, I don't really need to leave him. Like, and if I do, like, you know, he eats every 2 hours. I really don't need to go anywhere for that much longer than 2 hours. And by the time I do need to leave for more than 2 hours, he's gonna be on solids. Because I'm a makeup artist for weddings, and I have a wedding this Sunday, but it's gonna be really, it's like 2 people. It's gonna take me less than 2 hours. I posted in a buy nothing group, and I was like, if anyone has sippy cups, bottles, anything that you don't want, I will come pick them up, because I am tired of buying every single kind of bottle, every single kind of sippy cup, trying all these new things that I'm like, you know, we're spending money on, and then I have to return them. And like, I posted in a buy nothing group in my city, and people left out like boxes of all different kinds of sippy cups. And the one that he seemed to kind of work with is the Dr. Brown's transitional sippy cup. And so basically all he has to do is kind of like bite down on that one, and then like the hole opens up and the milk comes out. So he doesn't even really have to suck on that one. He just kind of like bites down on it. I really like the shape of it. It's just like easy for him, and it's not even like imitating a nipple at all. I just think it's like easy for him. And so we're just gonna like keep working on that, but I'm done offering it like every day, or like I was like practicing bottles like every day, like offering one. And it was just a really overwhelming time. And I just want to give me a break, you know, him a break on, you know, like trying to work with the bottle every day. So yeah, I mean, I went to lunch with a friend for like 2 hours, and he was asleep the whole time I was gone. So basically, like, that's been my experience so far. Like, I think a lot of the cluster feeding has to do with the comfort. But now that he's getting a little bit older, he doesn't seem to be like comfort feeding so much anymore. Like, if he's crying because he's colicky, gassy, if he's not hungry, like, he won't nurse, because to get him to stop crying, I've always just been able to nurse him. But now if he's crying and he's not hungry, he's not nursing. Like, but also now he's so much more like attentive, I guess. So like I can kind of give his attention and like calm him down in other ways. So I hear him crying right now. I'm gonna go get him from my husband because he's probably hungry. But yeah, hopefully someone can relate to this. I hope it was helpful. Basically, I just had to come to terms with it, and I am just looking forward to the day that he can take real food. But anyways, please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.